in the first place, if you want to look at the end of a decade, it's a good moment for you to reflect on what truly has value for you, what truly is the meaning of this life for you. For however long that may be, you may have 10 years, you may have 10 minutes, you may have 30 years, 40, whatever, right? But it doesn't matter what in this life, what are you here for? What has meaning for you? What is the value of this life? I mean, clarify that. What, you could look at it like you will die tonight. Not even tomorrow, but tonight. And that's the truth, because when you stop giving life to those old ways, you're dying and you're being born. Which is the same, really, as when this body dies and you're born into a new one. It's the same, not different. Yeah? The fear of death in that moment of letting go of this body is appearing in the same moment that everything's being ripped away from your life while in the body. It's the same. It's the ego death. So this is really, really a moment for you to clarify, what are you here for? What are you a movement of? What are you a frequency of? What are you here to give life to? If this is the last moment of being on this earth, then what? It's just not going to work like to sit in front of the TV eating crisps, is it? Or the computer. You know, the majority of our species are lost in distraction. How do you distract yourself? How do you distract yourself from pure consciousness? What are the ways in which you're doing that? Yeah, it's a good moment to reflect before this what we're given, the end of the year and a new one. We're given that as a time of reflection. It's a time to reflect, you know, what has meaning and what's calling you to really be radical about the movement of what you are. So it's a good time to reflect on what needs to end for you, what needs to be cut, what needs to be, like, if you're seeing there are ways in you that give rebirth to ways that keep you in a frequency of lack, of not recognizing what you really are, you know, being in a poor me state, or the victim, but keeping yourself so small in a configuration that's been put together by the ancestral lines, and you identify with, and then you can't cope with it, and so you find ways to distract and just cope with, yeah? Isn't it time for all this to be over? So yes, it's really a moment to reflect for you, to really like clarify this and to look at what stands in your way of making your whole life be about what your, let's call it soul, knows. You know, in the core of what you are, there's a knowing. You know the truth. You know the truth. You know, it gets covered over because such an ego has been developed. And it gets covered over, but still somewhere in you there's a knowing. You know. Huh? So can you start the first relationship with yourself in truth?